exclusive content, and welcome once again to the smAshlight section of the smAsho stream, where I talk about whatever I want, whether it's COVID-19, whether it's pronouncing the word cheddar and how to say cheddar, okay, cheddar, can you say cheddar, or if it's about people freaking out about absolutely nothing, or if it's about media bias and propaganda, and how big tech is trying to break the internet and information itself and not realizing that the internet can break big tech, but big tech can't break the internet. Let's read a quote. Deaths expressed as a percent of those living in medical care institutions is 0.682%, more than 50 times the death rate of the rest of the population at 0.012%. The death rate of the overall population is 0.022. Have you heard any YouTube channels forecasting this death rate, folks? If you want to read the article, it's on the American Institute for Economic Research.org, AIER.org. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not see things like this video of this pine borer beetle. Check it out. It was like 2 inches long, chilling on the screen. And this, the holes in the screen are some indication of the size. It's very hard to show scale, as if you start breathing on a bug like this, it starts getting pretty crazy, making weird noises and clicking at you. The pine borer beetle. Please don't identify yourself as mentally handicapped. Now, there's a lot of conjecture out there that Patricia Arquette may be mentally handicapped. I don't know. I'm not making a comment. Patricia Arquette has become unhinged, claiming that Donald Trump is not the legitimate president of the U.S. And it turned into a tweet storm. Apparently, Kevin McCarthy, according to Ms. Arquette, has turned the U.S. into a cheapo Russian colony. She thinks government and insurance companies need to say, if you get COVID and were found not to wear your mask in public, then you pay your medical bills. Now, Patricia Arquette's ultra rich, and she doesn't have to worry about medical bills. She's probably self-insured. And would consider it good news if the President of the United States was diagnosed with COVID-19. Since according to Patricia, otherwise known as Patty, Donald Trump has done nothing but expedite climate change-inducing policies with 4 more years that would only get worse. Somehow I don't think she understands atmospheric physics. Say no to mass extinction and the destruction of our planet. Vote Democrat. I guess for Joe Biden. By the way, for all you Bernie supporters out there, all you Bernie believers, Bernie bros, Bernie Sanders supporters, you know who you are. I think it's insane that your party has nominated Joe Biden, a guy who's not even present in any conversation, completely deranged, and can barely put together one coherent sentence. Patty Arquette says, "You-hoo, women's right to choose is hanging by a thread." No, women's right to chose is hanging by a thread. I guess Patty's a little bit illiterate, as she doesn't need to be able to read and write, being an ultra-rich leftist actress. Do not let Trump win. You lose the courts for a generation, and you will lose many things. Yes. Do you think Patty is Mansa-ing, making America not suck again? Or is she making it suck a little worse? Please leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Or are you an international viewer who's trying to Mensa, make Earth not suck again? By the way, we are on Facebook also. And we put up the article there. So again, deaths expressed as a percent of those living in medical care facilities is 0.682. The rest of the population is 0.012. And making healthy people wear masks is godforsakingly moronic and mentally handicapped. No second lockdown, people aren't going to put up with it. By the way, if you're wondering why I have 2 accounts, it's because this account here got to 5,000 friends, and I had to make another one. So anyway, like I said, I don't go searching for articles with the word smash in the title. But here's one. Smash the COVID orthodoxy. And smash ineffective governments and policies. Tell your local legislator to Make petitions appropriate to prevent the reduction of freedom in ridiculous ways that are totally ineffective and protect nobody. Your mask doesn't protect jack shit, and my mask doesn't protect jack shit. If you're sick and you have to go out in public, wear a mask. If not, stay home. Pay somebody else to get your groceries for you. Don't go out. Stay home when you're sick like any responsible human being does. When you return from the grocery store, wash your hands. Call it a day. Moron, coronavirus. Putting the moron in coronavirus. The media is a moron, and it's obsessed with COVID cases. But things like sick people are more important. By the way, there is zero, count them, zero evidence of asymptomatic transmission. In other words, if you're sick and you got snot pouring out of your nose and you're coughing and you're having trouble breathing, known as dyspnea, stay home or go to the hospital or whatever. Personally, I don't prefer to be coughed on without a global pandemic, and if it was up to me, my grocery shopping procedures would be exactly the same as they were in December, which is go to the store, don't dress like a complete godforsaken Covidiot wearing a mask, don't wear gloves, go shopping, come home, put your groceries away, wash your hands, and prop your feet up on a job well done. I'm just letting the article scroll here because I guess the New York Post is printing some truth to nonsense. Cheers to the New York Post. Let's move on to more stuff. Should pro athletes be more worried about coronavirus or lightning? Well, I guess you're more likely to die of lightning. And by the way, the yearly likelihood of you dying of lightning is 1 in 1,222,000. And in your entire lifetime, it's 1 in 15,300. Now, some of us professional athletes are a little bit more susceptible than others because our sport takes place largely outside, like, cycling. Turns out it's a very unusual occurrence to being injured by lightning. 25 players in the NBA have tested positive, except, guess what? They had 0 to minor health issues at the time. So yeah, asymptomatic cases aren't scary, have nothing to do with the pandemic, and have everything to do with politics. What good comes from this ridiculous, nonsensical, infantile behavior that the human species has pretty much adopted worldwide in response to the pandemic? Shout out to Jeffrey Tucker at the American Institute for Economic Research. I'll tell you what good comes from it. 1, the media has completely debunked itself. So if you've been addicted to news, please get unaddicted. Your day will improve instantaneously. 2nd, I've saved a tremendous amount of money by not going to restaurants, bars, and movies. And 3rd, I've learned a hugely valuable lesson that civilization can be dismantled in a matter of months. Now, I work in the administrative aspects of testing your food supply, and chances are something that you've eaten, if you buy anything at a grocery store, chances are something you've eaten in the past day or two was tested by the company that I work for. And it's entirely true that civilization can be dismantled in a matter of months, and it's entirely true that civilization was never even close to being dismantled as a result of the spooky, scary COVID pandemic. Let's talk about how Google is a total scam and not a verb, whether it's AdSense scams or whether it's search algorithm scams or whatever kind of scams. There's a million different scams. That's Google. When you wonder why search results are completely phony, that's Google. When you want to see a company go straight out of business, that's a Google. Telling you all lies, companies that are despised, just like Google. When you want to squash a disgusting insect, that's a Google. We've got a whole entire topic thread at smashamash.com/forum where Amanhotep says, YouTube, a product of Google, recently changed the format of the comment section under the video, something that happens regularly because they have to repeatedly change where all the buttons are on their software so that you accidentally click on the nonsensical ads. Please leave a comment if you would actually advertise your company on the Google Junkware YouTube platform. Amonhotep thinks it's mostly beta testing so far. The algorithm is learning something about our ways of interacting with the comments section, which is entirely true. It's creating a psychological profile. It's utterly, utterly, utterly biased in terms of search results, and your search results in different countries will be totally different. Go ahead, mess around, use a VPN, do Google searches, do YouTube searches. By the way, those are the two largest search engines in the world. The largest search engine is Google. The second one is YouTube. And it's not even close as far as number 3. Anyway, if you want to read more about it, I've put up more information about internet studies, about things like the search manipulation effect, the mind control associated with Google's junkware, the way Google tried to interfere with the 2016 presidential election, the way Google posed a serious threat to democracy and how to end that threat, the latest whistleblower, why Google posed a serious threat to how to break Google's monopoly on search and make its index public. By the way, Google is written on entirely open source code, and their code is entirely closed source. So the reason it became the world's biggest search engine is because it had simple algorithms, and now its algorithms are so complex, I doubt anybody knows how to unwind them or have any clue what the real effects would be. Hey Google, learn to code, boomer. Check out mygoogleresearch.com, which will redirect you to abert.org, AIBRT.org, to learn more about that. And thanks for tuning in to today's smAshlight section. Now let's get on to some more things.